Bev Buds.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're listening and wherever you're listening from. This is Bev Buds. I'm your host, Trent Reardon.
I'm Daniel Gray.
I'm Carl Wright.
And together we're Bev Buds. So, Bev Buds, if you're listening for the first time, which obviously you are because it's our first podcast, is a show where each week we review a new Bev. We drink it, review it, and just talk about general stuff.
We've talked about doing this podcast. Dan and we took the domain for this on YouTube in 2014, I'm pretty sure, D.
Yeah.
We talked about it for ages.
Oh, yeah.
And Trent, when we used to go to uni together, we'd talk about, we should do a podcast.
Oh, look, I'd say the idea of starting a podcast was probably started about over, I'd say nearly...
It's when we started uni.
No, I'd say even earlier than that. I'd say almost 10 years ago.
But yeah, so basically the idea is each week we're going to have a new drink and we're going to get submissions for drinks.
An alcoholic beverage.
A Bev Bud drink.
Yes.
Now, just to start it off, I've made the first batch of drinks for you guys. Now, I've got in front of you, for our listener who can't see...
a single
who
listener
can't see
probably right
the
about
box.
now.
I've got Bevs. Now, I wanted to surprise you guys with these Bevs because this Bev, in particular, is very special to me.
Right.
Because it's the first Bev I ever had. And now I've done a little bit of a twist on it.
Right.
So we've got Goon, casket wine, and juice. Now I've done a little bit of a cocktail twist. I've put ice in it, and I've lashed out, and I've got the really expensive orange juice, the Boost juice,
Boost
Energy Lift.
Jeez.
So we have Fruit Alexia, which makes you sexier.
Right.
We've got juice and we've got ice, and this is the first Bev for the Bev Buds. Yeah, just cheers, gentlemen.
Jeez.
It tastes like...
Oh, that takes me back to...
being 18.
Yes.
It takes me back to when I didn't have money.
Yes.
So, yeah, obviously, it's just been Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy time of the year, obviously. Catching up with family just non-stop. For me, I think it was. Every day was just spent at my mum and dad's with about 20 other family members.
Yeah, no, I had the same.
Yeah, devouring way too much food.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was thinking this as well. It's like a universal thing that no one talks about. Is the things you pop. I don't know what they're called. The cracker things.
Bonbons.
Bonbons. Inside them.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed since we've been kids, right?
That's right.
You pop them, you get a joke, and you get a really shitty toy.
Yeah.
It's either a puzzle... It's like a thing of marbles or like a compass or something.
I think they're progressively getting worse.
You're getting worse. I don't think they've changed.
I think the jokes are getting better.
Yeah, I think so as well. Well, it's either that or that we're transitioning into a stage in our life where, well, at our age we should be, becoming fathers. So we're enjoying the dad jokes a bit more.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, no, they're just like, I'm just surprised it hasn't changed. Like,
and it's one of those things that I guess you don't really think about at Christmas, but if you think about it after Christmas, you're like, why? Why do we pop these bonbons?
Yeah.
And why do we all don those little paper hats?
Yeah, and if you hold it slightly up, you're going to win the pool.
Yeah.
No, does anyone's hat fit their heads?
Mine does, yours not fit.
No, I look like the character of Riverdale, It's got like the little hat.
You got a little hat. But I'm just impressed that, I was thinking about it at Christmas, they haven't changed since we were a kid, in my opinion. The toy and the bonbon, and it's just a thing.
That's right. You think in this day and age that would have either died off.
Make them a bit better.
I mean, I guess, which brings me to another point about Christmas and about some of the weird traditions we sort of get up to. And one thing that I was thinking about the other day was Christmas trees. Why is it that we just bring a random tree, cut it down outside, and just shove it in our lounge room?
But it's got spiders, or you buy a pretend
tree
for twice the price and put it in your house.
Well, my family doesn't do that. We have a Christmas moose.
A moose.
A Christmas moose.
Like,
do you go out and do you hunt down a moose? You drag the carcass.
Drain its blood.
It's from a $2 shop, from years ago. My mum, we threw away our trees and crap like that. And the only thing that we've kept up is this $2 shop moose that you can stretch out his legs. and all the presents are spread around
the moose.
I'm finding this very hard to picture right now.
I'll show you a photo later, but this little Christmas...
It sounds satanic.
And he's got his little presents around him.
Yeah.
So we started calling him the little Christmas moose. He's not even little, he's actually quite tall. He's got lights on him and stuff that we put on it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I do like that idea.
Yeah. You know, I was also thinking as well with this year, because we're doing like a bit of a recap sort of thing. Okay, are you guys the same with me? Do you buy... have you impulse bought stuff this year more than usual because of lockdown?
I bought Lego a lot.
You bought Lego.
That was my thing.
What Lego did you get?
Like the James Bond car and like a double-decker bus that I never finished.
Did that drive you out of lockdown? Was that your escape car?
The 007 one was.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, I spent way too long like
perfecting it.
Yeah, because like there was like little gears and stuff like you have like the little rocket boosters and stuff like that.
What about you, Trent? Have you impulse bought anything this year? Like during lockdown?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've gone through phases in the past.
Yeah.
With impulse buying, like vinyl records, hats.
Yeah, I've seen your hat collection.
Yeah, but I don't think I've impulse bought anything during quarantine, which is quite weird.
Because I've fallen for... If you put an ad up on Facebook... if it's an ad on Facebook and I'm slightly intrigued, I fall for it and just buy it. And I don't know if you guys saw the aeroplane I bought, the inflatable aeroplane.
Yeah.
It was promised to be this like 2.5-3 meter aeroplane that inflates and glides. And I've actually got around here. I want to show you guys some stuff I bought online. So these, I'm going to show you. I've got here, lovely listener, a box. So first of all, I've got a moon ball.
Wow.
So this ball was promised to be the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
That you light up. See, it lights up, and it's all the little crescents and everything. It's quite cool. You can hold it if you want. And you put it on display. That's the idea of it.
Right.
And I thought, I need to have one of them. Okay, 35 plus shipping for it.
You know what this reminds me of? You remember in a primary school?
Yeah.
When we'd play dodgeball?
Like a kickball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But without the skin.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's got lumps. It wouldn't roll. Like, it's kind of cool. But it's like a real sort of ridiculous purchase. I've also got, I'll show you guys another thing I've bought. I've got these. So I will give you mine. Rose fell for this as well. That's why I've got 3 pairs. They're glasses that they're the shape of love hearts, and if you put them on, if you look at reflections, you're meant to be able to see rainbow rays. So look outside. Do you see like?
Yeah, I do, but at the same time,
they don't work. Like,
no, I can't see anything.
I see the edges of the.
Yeah, if you look at like artificial light, it's meant to be better. It's the biggest piece of crap, but I fell for it. But yeah, anyway, I just feel like I've been like impulse buying a lot more. Not at the moment. This was more like peaked in like sort of August, September.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything. But I've just collected a bunch of crap that I now have to get rid of. And I was thinking about giving it to people for Christmas. Like I should have given these to Kate, my little sister, because they're just something to give away, and then I don't have to have them.
Bev Buds. Right, should we jump into our first segment? What should our first segment be?
Our first segment of the show. Well, we had fun facts written down, and I just found, looking at them, I feel like they were really hard. It was hard to find a fun fact that I like, and it was hard to, because the idea was we're all going to share a fun fact, right?
That's right.
I just found, when I was looking at fun facts, I'm like, it's going to be really hard to segment into. It's going to be really hard to talk about, and it's going to be really, I don't know, I just don't know how it's going to go. So I think we should do fun fact first.
Well, why are you looking at me?
Dan, what's your fun fact?
So,
sing this fun fact theme song segment first.
Well, this will be a fun fact
Go on.
for the ages, I guess. Now, like, everyone remembers the movie Happy Gilmore.
Right.
Okay. Is that the one with the penguin?
No!
That's Billy Madison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on.
I have definitely.
Go on.
Everyone's favourite character, because I definitely didn't just look this up as fast as I could, because
you googled fun facts because you realised we've got a segment about fun facts.
And you come across a Billy Madison reference.
Billy Madison fun fact. Tell us your favourite Billy Madison fun fact. What's your absolute favourite?
I know there's so many of them, but just choose one.
From everyone's favourite character, Shooter McGavin.
Okay.
Did you know, after the movie,
he got shot? What?
He never had to pay for golf ever again.
Didn't he?
That's my fun fact.
That is very fun.
You know what?
For him.
I'd charge him for golf.
You can charge him on Cameo.
Can you?
I've got him on Cameo.
Why don't we get him as a...
He's $250. I'm not paying him
$250 to have him tell me he doesn't have to pay for golf. Yeah, I'd do that. What about you, Trent? What's your fun fact? What did you scrounge up?
So my fun fact is, did you know, guys, that hot water will turn into ice quicker than cold water would?
I've heard this before.
No, because I've had this argument with freaking so many people that I've told this to. My dad's a goddamn plumber and I tell him this and he does not agree with me.
I've heard that before. Can you prove it?
I can't prove it right now.
Go prove it.
But is it boiling water or just hot?
I don't know. I've yet to see it. What about what about other things like beer? If I have a hot beer
I feel like this is an experiment you should do, Carl.
with the goon.
Do you know what the worst one is?
What?
Have you ever frozen milk by accident?
No.
I've had milk to the point where it forms ice clumps in it.
Oh yeah.
So that when you're pouring it, you don't know whether you're pouring off milk or whether the milk's just frozen.
No, I've had it before where, like, I don't know what happened, what me and my old roommate did, where we somehow destroyed the fridge in the way it thought it was the freezer. And multiple times I kept buying the 2-litre bottles of milk and it would just be frozen. But like you can see the clumps where it's separated, where it, like, oh, it was the most disgusting thing.
Your old roommate, the fact that you guys had a pet snake that you would lose in the house, that scared the shit out of me. Like,
I know.
I couldn't live like that, knowing there's like, oh, it's gone off again, and there's just a snake in the house. Like, that bothered me so much. We used to go over there, and like, you just lose it.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It never jumped at me.
Who did it jump at? It jumped at people?
Yeah, once.
Who?
I can't remember.
Oh, so guys, I want to talk about my fun facts.
Right.
I want to talk about the moon.
It's going to be about shooting McGavin or ice.
I want to talk about the moon.
I want to talk about the moon.
Right.
So, did you know that you can fit every planet in our solar system between Earth and the moon? That's my fun fact.
If they were like touching side by side.
So you get Saturn, you get Jupiter, put them all together in a line, they would fit between the Earth and the moon. That's how far away the moon is.
Is this including Pluto or not?
Oh. Well, Pluto's not a planet. So
The Plutonians would disagree with you there, Carl.
They would.
I don't believe that.
Well, damn, did you that's my fun fact. I mean...
It's not true.
Well, do you want me to throw another moon fact at you?
Go on.
Alright, did you know the moon...
Did you write
No,
down?
look. Did you know the moon is moving 3.8 centimetres away from the Earth every year?
Yeah, I've heard
Which
that
is how much our fingernails grow in a year.
So you're basically
That's
saying...
that's more of a fun fact than the first one.
No,
I'd say.
that's not that fun though, is it?
So you could call the moon the fingernail of the Earth.
It is. Or you could just say the moon's moving 3.8 centimetres.
I think I'd go with the fingernail of the Earth.
But yeah, there you go. There's my fun facts. I'm glad we did that segment. It didn't feel artificial at all.
This is why I think we called it episode 0.
I want to talk about movies.
Okay.
And I want to talk about, in particular, because this is a bit of a recap episode of the podcast. We're recapping the year, even though it's our first one. No, I want to talk about this year, Trent.
Right.
Dan's done it as well, haven't you, D?
Yes.
I want to talk about the movie list we've been doing. So basically, Dan and I have been doing this movie list where it started with my uni professor. It was back when I was doing film. He basically gave us 10 movies. The class was called Mind Screen.
Mind Screen.
Yeah,
Right.
and it was basically films that had to do with psychology or a psychological concept in a film. And he had this list, and we every morning. The class was at 9 o'clock on like a Tuesday. You'd go in there, and they would be the heaviest, oldest, darkest things you could find.
Which is exactly what you need at 9 o'clock in
and
the
you'd just be
morning.
watching stuff, and sometimes you'd be like, why am I watching this? Then he'd tie it with like a psychologist's theory or something like that. So
Right.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, this list, I hadn't thought about it in years, and at the start of the year, I was telling Dan about it, and I went onto my old uni, the website, and I found the class, because this is 2014, and I just screenshotted the list of movies, and Dan and I started watching them, and it's gone into this list of movies that basically Dan and I we find movies that are similar to that. Either the premise of our list is it's got to be a movie we've never seen before, or something we haven't seen since we were a kid.
Yeah.
That makes it onto the list. And my goal at the start of the year was to watch 365 new movies for this list.
Yeah.
And we keep a list just on our phone when we watch a movie.
I like how, straight off the bat, you reach for the stars.
For a movie a day.
365 movies. One movie a day.
Yeah. Do you know how much we got to? What would you guess?
I would probably guess you've watched about 86 movies.
86. 256.
256.
56. Yeah.
I would say that's quite an achievement.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. It was really interesting. I've never watched this many movies before in a year.
No.
And the fact...
No way.
And we started with, like, the stuff that's like, top 10 must-watch movies. We found most of them were the worst ones.
The most overrated movies of all time.
Go on, Dan. What's your most hated movie you've watched? One hated movie.
Well, like, I've got a different hated one, but from that list, it would 100% be Donnie Darko.
Okay, so you saying that, our listener might be outraged.
I don't care, it's terrible.
You've outraged our listener. We've got no viewers now. But, a lot of people love Donnie Darko. It's got a cult following. A lot of people, when I was at uni, were like, oh my god, you got to see Donnie Darko. Like, that. It was like, it had this thing about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you didn't like it, you didn't get it. That was like its thing. And same as I know mine's very controversial, but I hated Big Lebowski. I know people love it. Our dads love it, and like that age love it. Like 30s, 40s love it because it came out that time. But yeah, it was just sort of, I don't know, it was interesting going through the hits and seeing if you liked it or not, and then getting to the real obscure stuff, like that you wouldn't really necessarily watch or see on the list. Where that's when it would get really interesting.
Yeah, well, movies that you've never even heard of.
Well, you and I watched Existence by David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
That was awesome. We put it on. Neither of us knew what it was about.
No.
The only background I had of downloading it was, I watched a few Cronenberg films. I'll download this one. Yeah. That was it. And we watched it. And it was really good to watch.
That's right.
But like, I wanted to sort of talk about a movie I did enjoy. If I could recommend a movie from 2012... it would be... Have you heard of Palm Springs?
The movie Palm Springs?
Yeah, the movie.
No,
okay, do you want me to give you a little primer?
Sure.
Because I'd recommend it. Basically, it came out this year. It was from Hulu. And it was Andy Samberg. And it was basically about this guy who is in a time loop every day. It's a comedy, but he wakes up in this town, Palm Springs, and he lives this day of his wedding over and over again.
Right.
She basically gets stuck in the time loop as well. And it sort of goes through how she can get out of it. He's been there for much longer than her. To the point where, like how long would you say? What guessing? They never say it.
You'd almost think 1,000 years.
Because
Jeez.
You think because he gets to the point where he even says to the girl character, he's done every outcome for that day. He went through like his rampage. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. And he's just content with waking up, chilling by the pool, going to a wedding, going to sleep. Yeah. So it makes you sort of think like, how long is this guy being there for? And then this chick's he's content with living in that world, whereas she wants to get out. It was a really good movie. It's a comedy. It's lighthearted, but it's got a lot. It's like Groundhog Day, or like those classic, stuck in a daily loop, but there's multiple people in the same film. Yeah. And probably say it was my favourite movie I watched that came out in 2012. So, which is not much of a list, but yeah.
I guess this leads into a question that I have, is that with the whole year that has been with the quarantining and all that sort of jazz where we can't get out, can you see yourself going to the cinemas again?
Yeah, I've been to the cinemas since we've opened again.
Yeah, I went to the cinemas yesterday.
I saw Tenet.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago. That was good.
Did you find it weird because we've spent so long watching movies at home on our own TVs? And
it feels different.
And you can't just pause it, get some food, like go to the toilet or something.
But no, it's honestly, I'm going to do this list again next year. I'm not, maybe you know what? I'm going to aim for 365 movies.
Go a bit high. Aim for about 500.
2 a day. No, I'm going to aim for 365 again. I don't know if we'll get there.
I think we should go into a segment that Kyle and I are very much looking forward to.
Which is?
Which is Dan's advice.
Oh, you got advice for Dan?
I have got a question.
Good.
I've got a question for Dan to answer.
Okay.
To give his piece of advice. Because I know Dan is very...
You're very good with relationships. He's very good at advice giving.
That's right.
Yeah. I've always seen Dan as a real father figure with
That's
advice.
right. Whenever I had problems, I'd always run to Dan.
Now, can we also, with this, can we make sure, Dan, you have to give the advice. You can't say, I don't know, or just do this.
Yeah, sure.
You need to give proper advice.
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
I can do that.
You got it?
I can definitely do that.
What's the advice?
I've got my phone down so I can listen.
Okay, so this one's sent in from a Yahoo Answers. which is about the gold zone of advice questions. So this is what they write, specifically to Dan. Okay, here's my situation. I've been seeing the same prostitute for a few months. I lost my virginity to her. She's the only person I've ever had sex with. She's semi-attractive and not too expensive, and we normally do it in a hotel, but I can't afford it, so I just invite her to my place. We have sex for, you know, the amount of time that I paid for her, and just as she's about to leave, she sees my DVD of an old film called A Matter of Life and Death. She says it's her favourite movie and asks if we can watch it. We watch the film together and don't do anything. She phones up the next day and asks if I want to hang out. When we meet up, I ask if I can have sex with her, and she says no because she thinks we've gotten too close and asks if we can be friends. Did I get friend zoned by a prostitute, and what can I do to have sex with her again?
Trent, I'm a bit upset that you gave Dan the advice I asked you. Alright, D, you got to give this advice to this person.
Yes, you did get friend zoned by your prostitute. That's the first thing I'd say.
And what should he do about it? What would you do about it?
What would I do about this?
If you were this person in this situation,
give him advice.
what would
Imagine
you do?
Imagine Trent's this person and give him the advice that he needs.
I feel like the first bit, like I just said, yes, you did. But like, for the love of God, get away from that.
Get away. So maybe make some more friends. Maybe
Maybe ask her if she's got any friends.
Yeah.
Then they'll want him to pay as well, wouldn't they? Oh, he doesn't care about that part. What am I saying?
Well,
find a new prostitute. That's what I'm saying.
Well, there you have it, guys. If you ever get stuck in that situation,
find a new
just
prostitute.
remember, find a new prostitute.
Well, there you go. That's Dan's advice. And now, look, we are getting close to time, so we should probably wrap up. How was your Bev? How's the first Bev?
Nostalgic, I'd say, is probably the only way I could describe this.
Nostalgic.
Actually, it's strong for me.
What? Okay, D, I want to ask you something before we do go. When you have a goon drink,
Yes.
when you have a Fruit Alexia / juice with ice,
Yeah.
which we didn't used to do. We used to drink it warm. What does it remind you of? With your first memory when it goes to your head?
Goon of Fortune.
Goon of Fortune.
Yeah.
Okay, not the tappy.
Yeah, the tappy
that one. Okay, the one where
is
you
that
tap.
Goon of Fortune? Or is that the spinning on the...
That's on the
clothesline.
clothesline, which I hadn't done since I was...
I remember only do that once, and I swear, like, everyone's like, ha ha, and it kept just falling off every single goddamn time.
Yeah. No, okay. Because for me, it's at your house. We're 18, 19, and we're going to go out. Or we went... I think one time we went on a party bus, and we had it before we went on a party bus.
Probably.
But no matter where we go, if we said we had goon, we would get picked on and belated.
Yeah.
We were the outcasts for having goon. And
I agree with that.
yeah. What about you, Trent? Do you remember the first... What does goon remind you of?
I think goon does remind me of those nights that we had where we'd have that goon sack that just got passed around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think we had a pretty good first podcast. What do you guys think?
I don't think so, but
Well,
we'll let our one single viewer
Yes.
or listener be the judge of that one, I think.
give us send us a message, listener, and tell us if you enjoyed listening to us. Listening, yes. Alrighty, well, until next time, thank you.